chance. It's all plastic.
Come on, stop it, don't do that. Right, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well that's it. I better clear off
Just
before
put
they...
this in and
Everything
do
go
that.
again?
We'll have our branching all done.
Yeah, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Hull in the United Kingdom on the East Coast. We've just witnessed a parade of classic Jaguars, all eras, types and colours, going over the famous Humber Bridge. Hull being a port city in the east of England, in the north. We've just stopped at the car park by the Humber Bridge, where some of the drivers that have just taken part in the procession have parked up for a few minutes. And amongst other vehicles, we've noticed a very, very nice British Racing Green XJ6, a very late example of the traditional XJ. They're now being, of course, a new shape, which looks very futuristic, but perhaps upsets some of the old-fashioned purists. This vehicle carries a private UK registration of C11 Duo, DUO. The owner is just here, and I'm just going to ask him a little bit about this lovely vehicle. So, can you tell me a little bit about this car? It's a very late XJ, isn't it?
Well, it's the last of the what some people consider to be the real XJ6s, although the new ones are beautiful cars. This is the last of the traditional shape, as you rightly say. But the unusual thing about these is that, of course, they're all aluminium and very lightweight. And even this particular car, which is the low, the base 3 litre, the same engine that was in the S-Type 3 litre 240 brake, as the car only weighs the same as a modern Mini, coupled with 240 brake, it's 0 to 67 seconds-ish.
Is it speed limited or
no,
top speed?
It is limited to 145.
But would without the limit to go considerably faster, I guess?
I don't think so. I think that's about it, really. But the agility of it and the way it drives, because it's so light, is quite remarkable. And this particular car, as I say, is the 3 litre. They did do a 4.2, a 3.5 or 6, I think, and then the supercharged one, the top of the tree, which is a racing car with a saloon.
Many years ago, I had the opportunity to drive a manual 3.4, which I thought was quite slow.
Yeah.
But this is before the modern era. These are 1980s cars, and also a black 4.2 automatic.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the most popular engine.
It was.
This, I presume, is automatic.
It is, yeah.
So what's the actual model?
It's an XJ350.
All right, okay.
And as I say, they're all aluminium and they're bonded with aircraft glue and self-piercing rivets. They're an unusual construction.
All right.
And many people think that this will be a real classic.
And
because of that
it won't
reason.
Rust, will it?
No.
It's made of aluminium.
The paint can oxidise locally, but not rust as we know it. No.
Right, okay.
And the other thing, it's got largely aluminium suspension, and it's air suspension all round. So it's fabulous to drive. It's really, really comfortable, but still corners well at speed. Extremely good on fuel, believe it or not.
So what does it do to the gallon?
31.
31?
Yeah, which is
a petrol car, 31.
I could get 31 no problem, which is amazing, I think.
It is amazing.
Or around town?
On the motorway.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a 1.8 Astra, and I at best get 37 on the motorway.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
nothing
so
like the size.
No, it's turning 2,000 revs at about 80 miles an hour.
Oh, right.
So it's fabulous design, beautifully geared, very light.
Ask you about your registration, C11 Duo. Now, unless your middle name is Ulysses, which I don't think it is, you've got to explain to me, does that signify something?
It does, yeah. I'm part of a cabaret duo, along with my wife. So it's actually C11 duo.
Oh, right, okay.
And we also have our 11 duo on a Saab as well.
Right, so
That's
it's
the
his and
reason.
her number plates.
Yeah, yeah. That's what we do. We're a cabaret comedy vocal duo in Blackpool, which is where I'm from.
Right,
It's on
okay.
the
So-
coast of Lancashire.
Yeah, if you
and
want,
north of
if you
England.
want to look that up on YouTube, if you just search York and Young,
Yeah,
Yorke and Young,
there you go.
there's people put some bits on of us.
Do you accept
Right.
bookings from the United States and Australia?
We do, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some free advertising for you.
As long as it's post-dated checks. Yeah, and this particular car, C11 Duo, you'll see featured in this month's Jaguar Enthusiast magazine as well.
Here in the
There's a
UK.
feature on it, yeah, because I'm a part-time motor trader as well. I have been for 40 years. And this particular car was in an auction, and nobody wanted it, was remotely interested in it, just because the gearbox was showing a fault, it was lighting up like a Christmas tree, the
Yeah.
dashboard, which was in the end just a wheel sensor.
Right.
It was 35 quid, which turned it back into a fab car.
Fantastic.
So it's probably the cheapest one in existence.
Cheapest one for you, but not if you come to sell it.
I know my late uncle at the garage had an XJ6 from 1973 to his dying day, NTF 111M, which I checked and sadly no longer exists.
Oh, what a shame.
But he had that car from new
Yeah.
into retirement and until the day he died in the 80s.
Oh,
And
right.
He loved his Jaguar. Before that he had a succession of Mark II.
Yeah,
And
I've had a couple of Mark
one always kind of these are the first Jaguars anyone I knew ever had, and clearly they were very prestigious at the time, and indeed still are.
They still are, yeah.
I had a XJ8,
Yeah,
which
nice
did about 15 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And sadly the gearbox went on it.
Yeah.
Presumably that was a lot heavier than this version.
Oh yeah,
double the weight,
double
yeah.
the weight. Can we have a look inside?
Yeah, by all means. It's very traditional. This is William,
Hello, William.
Hello William.
named after, you can guess, Sir William.
Oh, very nice leather seats, covers. But this is my favourite colour interior.
So do we know what the original registration
Union
was on the
Jacks.
Circle?
Yeah.
Where was it originally from?
I can't believe he paid £1,200 for this in an auction.
So it's a Lancashire,
Totally
Lancashire,
unbelievable.
Lancashire,
Yeah, yeah.
fairly low.
I'm going to have to go to the auctions myself and see if I can get one.
Yes, it was this Northwest Reg.
Now this is a proper managing director's car.
It is,
None of
isn't
your
it?
Modern stuff. A proper.
Although having
Shows your life has not been entirely without success. I think that's a very admirable. Clearly this is the ultimate derivation of the XJ, which when we think about it goes way back to 1967-68.
it does, yeah, 68,
So when was this vehicle actually manufactured?
2003.
2003.
Yeah.
So they started with the new XJs within a couple of years after
That's
that?
right. No, it was actually this XJ finished in 2009, 2008-9, before they changed to the new shape XJ.
Oh right,
so this
it
is an
continued for a
early
few
one
years.
of this of
Type.
the last type. Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance, I was never aware that the very last XJs were so light and so economical.
Oh crikey, yeah. You wouldn't believe it. All aluminium. There's no weight to it at all. It's amazing. I mean, even driving it, you know, the 70s and 80s and 90s, it still returned 30 to the gallon because it's just ticking over and there's just no weight. There's no.
Oh, you can afford to take this to the shops, really, can't you?
Yeah.
So rather than taking the wife's micro.
Yeah. And it's a V6, so it's the tried and tested engine that was put into the S-Type, and the ZF gearbox, 6-speed gearbox, which is a great gearbox.
Can we see
Nothing. It's got everything going for it.
Can we see the engine?
Yeah,
If
by all
possible?
means, yeah.
Thank you.
Come here, baby.
Just struggling to get the hood open. There we go. The business end.
Yeah. It's just a 3 litre 24 valve S-type engine, really. But as I say, with the ZF 6-speed box, which is still a current box, it's just a fantastic gearbox. You can't even feel it change gear at all.
Which is always the determinant of the best automatic transmission.
Yeah. It's a fabulous gearbox.
So how long have you owned the vehicle?
This about, I'd say about 18 months.
Did you have Jaguars before this?
Yeah, I've had probably everyone that's ever been made.
Everyone
Apart from
from the
E-Type.
Pre-war SS authentic Jaguar. If you kept that, you'd be worth
No.
millions.
No. From the 60th, the first one I ever had was a 1961 3.8 manual overdrive.
That would have been a Mark II?
Yeah. VDB 795, I still remember it.
Or DB is
VDB.
well, that registration corresponds to Stockport in Greater Manchester in the
it
north
was
of
bought
England.
in Macclesfield in Cheshire.
Well, that's understandable. I must admit, I went to a show recently, and there was an old S-Type from the 60s there, and the owner had put a very interesting caption on it, that the famous London villains, the Cray twins, much favoured the Jaguar Mark, and in fact, Reggie, who was the one that they thought was the more mental of the two, had an S-Type, and allegedly commented he particularly liked it because the boot was big enough to get a body in.
Yeah. Well,
We hope this story is perhaps not literal, but who knows?
well, as long as it fitted Jack the Hat.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For those foreign viewers, Jack the Hat McVitie was an infamous one of the
Great
a number
Swings burglars.
of infamous murders that these London gangsters did in the 1960s. They used to do awful things, cutting up bodies and things. Very nasty men, but they liked Jaguars, so they had one redeeming feature.
A good bank robber's car.
Oh, indeed. In the UK in the 1960s, when more things was dealt with in cash, historically the Mark II Jaguar was classically the car that the bank robbers stole the night before as the getaway car for the job.
Yeah.
And
My father was a racecourse bookmaker, so he was Jaguar mad, because that was another kind of people. I don't know if you Americans know what a racecourse bookmaker is.
why don't you explain?
Well, a racecourse bookmaker is somebody that stands on a stool with the runners and riders, and then he will chalk the odds up to what he thinks to try and make a book. So that whatever you back, if he lays all the horses, he'll still win a percentage. Unfortunately, the majority of the bookmakers don't work that way because they inject their own opinion. So they'll alter the odds to suit what they think is going to be there. So they become more of a gambler than the person putting the money on.
But the odds are always in the bookmaker's favour, hence the fact they can afford a Jaguar.
Theoretically. Oh, that sounds nice.
Our replica C-Type behind us. Two guys again at events, a Jaguar event around the United Kingdom.
The photos, so I'm going to email them tonight.
Fantastic. Right, take care then.
Right.
Take care. And off he goes, driving down to Lincoln, just about 100 miles away in the northern part of the United Kingdom.
It even sounds old, that car.
Brilliant,
Exhaust
isn't it?
note. I don't know why.
Oh, how he made it doesn't sound like an XJ6, does it?
Sounds fun.
Anyway, I think about to have a belated brunch and wrapping things up here in Hull, which is a coastal city in the eastern coast of the UK.
Shouldn't do this to my Jag, really.
No. Don't put the... Don't
Let's
spot... Oh,
hope
look
this
at
gentleman's hot coffee doesn't scald his paintwork.
it. Yeah.
Beautiful, immaculate British Racing green paintwork, that is.
It's actually called Emerald.
Emerald, is that the official colour?
Emerald British Racing Green.
Emerald
It's
British Racing
slightly
green.
metallic, actually.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's more metallic than the older traditional British
Yeah,
Racing
it's a
green.
nice colour. I think it's.
Well, this is very much evocative of Jaguar's racing history and British racing in general,
Yeah.
motor racing.
Yeah.
And so,
Can't offer you a coffee, chaps. I've only got one cup.
No problem. I
No
think we
problem.
might have a coffee before we set off back.
and I think with that, we hope you've enjoyed viewing some nice UK Jaguars, and sadly the weather wasn't quite as good as we hoped, though it was sunny to begin with. And so the 2017 season of car shows, for us anyway, now ends, and we look towards 2018. Lots of shows to come, lots of Jaguars to see, and new year, new season. Goodbye, and I
Nice to
hope you
talk to
enjoyed
you.
the video. Very nice to meet you, sir. May I take your name?
Robert Parks.
Robert, very nice to meet you. Lovely
And you.
car.
All right, thank you.
Like that, street.